Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Cusby. Thank you for joining us on WSAV News 3 today at 11. Here's a live look out over Tybee Island this morning on this Tuesday from our Savannah Cam. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsey's in the Weather Center with a look at our forecast first. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning, Kim. We're starting off with temperatures as we head towards lunchtime, getting back into the upper 30s to the low 40s. It was a freezing cold start as our morning temperatures around sunrise tumbled back into the 20s. So the good news is, at least for the rest of the week, we're back above freezing, though still pretty cold out there for our early Wednesday morning. As for the rest of our Tuesday, tracking lovely sunshine, just a few clouds overhead, with temperatures climbing back up into the upper 40s, passing yesterday's high temperatures and then climbing into the lower 50s throughout the afternoon. A small win for our Tuesday is that it won't be nearly as breezy as what we have been tracking over the last two very windy days. That just means we're not adding the extra chill to the air, which is good news because we are already dealing with very chilly temperatures outside. 54 degrees is that high today in Savannah, to 50 degrees for that high later on this afternoon in Beaufort. We're looking at temperatures just continuing on a warming trend even as we head towards the end of the week, as our highs by tomorrow back to right around average, lower 70s by our Thursday, and of course we begin to track our next chance of rain. That will come in very late in the end of the week and heading into the weekend. So coming up in the complete Storm Team 3 forecast, we'll talk about what you can expect with those rain showers and of course how chilly tomorrow morning is going to end up being.
Thank you, Alyssa. Topping our news this morning, some Wilmington Island residents remain uneasy about a man who lives in their community. Thomas Heinley, the owner of Capital B Company, is accused of watching a woman in an apartment above the business with spy cameras. WSAV's Sarah Smith took those concerns to the Chatham County District Attorney in an interview you'll only see on News 3.
We don't feel protected. We feel dismissed.
An anonymous Wilmington Island resident tells me several people have tried to get the attention of the district attorney and local police to try and get Thomas Heinley behind bars. Heinley is accused of breaking into a woman's home, hiding cameras inside, and watching her in spring 2024. Investigators say they found photos of the woman naked on Heinley's cell phone.
Our community has been living with fear and uncertainty for over 2 years. We are deeply disappointed in a system that has allowed someone accused of serious crimes involving surveillance, stalking, and violations of personal privacy to remain in a family-centered area surrounded by children.
While bond is set by the judge, not the DA, I took these residents' concerns straight to Chatham County District Attorney Shalina Jones.
Tell me, why some cases take so long?
Well, unfortunately, I think we live in the date of law and order where a crime happens, someone is arrested and detained and then tried to a jury within an hour. But the criminal justice process often takes a much longer time than that.
In this specific case, Heinley was arrested in April 2024, but the DA's office didn't receive the file until late June 2025. Heinley was then indicted 2 months later.
I know they don't feel this way, but that's as efficient a process as we can once it gets into the court system. What some people don't really realize is that sometimes it takes that long to do a complete investigation, especially when there's a lot of data, computer data, evidence, internet evidence, and ISP numbers for computers that take a long while, and you have to go through, the investigators have to go through the subpoena process.
Which is the case here. Police found several laptops, cameras, SD cards, hard drives, and cell phones in Heinley's home and office.
We want to make sure that justice is served, but also that it's done in a thorough and effective way. I know that we get closer to justice than if it's half investigated, then no one is happy.
That was WSAV's Sarah Smith reporting. Heinley's case is moving forward. He's scheduled to return to a Chatham County courtroom next month. In a follow-up from the Lowcountry this morning, authorities have arrested a teenager in connection to a deadly weekend shooting in Hampton County. According to the Hampton County Sheriff's Office, it happened this past Saturday at a home on Grant Hill Road. That's where they say they found 31-year-old Jordy Pringle inside the home, dead from a gunshot wound. The department says 17-year-old Amir Singleton later turned himself in without incident. We're told Singleton is now charged with murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. He's being held without bond at the Hampton County Detention Center. Turning now to political news this morning, in just a matter of hours, President Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address of his second term. Washington correspondent Kristen Eskow has a preview of what we can expect when the president takes the podium.
Security is tight on Capitol Hill in the hours leading up to President Trump's first State of the Union address of his second term.
We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have the most activity we've ever had. It's going to be a long speech because we have so much to talk about.
The day before the address, the president hosted an event for families of people killed by undocumented immigrants.
Americans like Laken and Grant and Javier and Joshua, Rocky, Rachel, Kayla. These are great people, and we're never going to forget them.
The issue of immigration is front and center on Capitol Hill. The Department of Homeland Security remains shut down as lawmakers are at odds over immigration enforcement reform.
We want CBP and ICE to act like every other police officer.
Some Democrats, like Connecticut Congressman Jim Himes, are skipping this year's State of the Union and will attend a different event on the National Mall instead.
This president has broken every precedent of decency that we have, has brutalized and made polarized our politics. And so I'm not giving him an audience. I'm going to go to the alternative and talk about housing and the fact that people are having a really hard time paying for their health insurance.
That was Kristen Eskow reporting. The Democratic response to this year's State of the Union will be given by Virginia's new governor, Abigail Spanberger, who is also a former member of Congress. We will air News Nation's coverage of President Trump's State of the Union address on our new WSAV Plus streaming app beginning tonight at 8 o'clock. You can access WSAV Plus on Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV. Back here at home, the Savannah Black Heritage Festival continues tonight with a salute to one of the oldest Black-owned banks in the country. The Road to 100, a Carver retrospective, will be held from 5:30 until 7 at Carver State Bank's Skidaway Road location. It will highlight 99 years of business and community service and officially launch the countdown to the institution's centennial anniversary in 2027. The event is free and open to the public. WSAV is a proud longtime media sponsor of the Savannah Black Heritage Festival.